Hello friends, we will now discuss about Codeforces round 650 division 3 problem number B. Let's first see that what is asked in the problem. You are given an array A, the indices of which are 0, 1, 2, n minus 1. So the array has a length of n. Okay. The problem defines a term which is good array. So an array is called good if the parity of each index matches the parity of the element at that index. If we write it formally, then for each index I, if I mod 2 is equal to AI mod 2, then we can call that array a good array. Basically, parity means if a number is even or not. Okay. So let's see an example because nothing completes without an example. 0, 5, 2, 1. Let's mark the indices 0, 1, 2, 3. Now the first element is even and the index is even. Okay. The next element is odd and the index is odd. Now the next element is even and the index is even, and the next element is odd and the index is odd. All the parities of the index and the element at those index match. Therefore, we can call this array a good array, right? Let's take another example. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, let's mark the indices 0, 1, 2, 3. Now the first element is even, the index is even. The next element is even, but the indices is odd. The index is odd. Therefore, we can call this array is not good because at the index 1 we are getting the element 4. The parities don't match. Therefore, we cannot call this array a good array. Now we can perform some steps on the input array. Okay, we are getting an array as input and we can perform some steps. What are the steps? At each step, you can take any two elements of the array and swap them to make the array good, right? Let's look at the example. We can take this element and swap them, right? If we swap them, we are getting 2, 5, 4, 7. And clearly this array can be called a good array because for each index I, the element and the index parity match. So we are getting a good array at one step. Remember, if at each step you can perform or you can take any two elements of the array and swap them. Okay, so this one will be our output, and if we cannot make an array good, then we will have to output -1. Then we are declaring two integers, one is e and another is o. Okay, and we initialize them with 0. Let's take an array. Suppose suppose this array is our input 3, 2, 5, 6. This array is our input, okay? And indices are 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, if an element, if the parity of the element and the parity of the index doesn't match, they don't match, then we will have to split them into two parts. If the element is even and the index is odd, then we will have to increment the integer e, and if the element is odd and the index is even, then we will have to increment the integer o. Okay, so at this index, the element is 3 and the index is 0. The element is even, sorry, the element is odd and the index is even. Therefore, we will have to increment the o, right? Let's increment o. Okay. At the next index, we can see that the element is even and the index is odd. Then we will have to increment the integer e, right? At the next index, the element is odd and the index is even. Therefore, we have to increment o. Okay. At the next index, we can see that the element is even and the index is odd. Therefore, we will have to increment e. So we can swap them, right? If at an index, the index is even and the element is odd, and at another index, the index is odd but the element is even, then we can swap them to make the array good, right? So we can we can make pairs between them and we can swap them, right? If we swap them, the array will become good, right? Let's say we'll swap this and this and this and this, then the array will become 2, 3, 6, 5, and this is a good array, right? So we will have to perform how many steps? We'll have to perform only 2 steps to make the array good. Remember, at one step we can take only 2 elements and swap them. But another thing is, if e is not is equal to o, then we cannot swap, right? We cannot swap them evenly, right? So we cannot make the array good then, and we will have to output -1. Okay? Otherwise, the output will be the step number. And that's the logic behind the solution of this B number problem. And I believe you can code it yourself. Thank you.